Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Carlos here. So I've been tasked, to talk about the law of attraction or law of vibration, which again is basically, if you're a positive person, you attract positive things. If you're negative, negative things. It's pretty simple, but again, I think a lot of people forget about those type of things. And so I'm gonna go over 5 things that I think that I'm great at as a person, and 5 things I think I do really good. So number one, I think I'm a great leader. I'm someone who can put someone to a task and make sure they get it done, help them get it done, but also guide them and not give them the answer. Because again, when you're a leader, you want to make sure that you give people a little bait, but they can reel it in themselves, because you don't want to hold their hand the whole way, because how are they going to learn, and how are they going to hopefully eventually, if they want to become a great leader. So I think I'm a great leader. Number two, I'm positive. I'm one of the most positive people you'll ever meet. My wife Christina can tell you that. I have very little negativity. I always want to be positive about no matter what. No matter if someone treats me wrong, no matter if someone does something wrong to even my family. It's I know you're supposed to stick up for your family, but again, I'm always just a very positive person when it comes to just too much has happened in my life and in my past. And I'm just a very positive person, and I understand that if I'm positive and I show my kids to be positive people, that it's gonna be good for their future and for my future, and things will just be bright. The third thing is I'm a problem solver. If I have any type of problem, I'm gonna figure out how to solve it. Whether it's at work, whether it's at home, whether it's with my kids, like I will solve a problem. Again, this is just something that I think, especially with being a leader, that's something that comes with the job, is being a problem solver. You can't be the type of person like, oh, how are we gonna do this? How are we gonna solve this? There's sometimes you can play what they call the devil's advocate, right? When you're trying to say, well, hold on, there's a problem here. But if you always, always, always have a problem with something, then you're just being that negative person. You're bringing the negative vibes. So I'm someone who, let's figure this out. Okay, it's a problem, but let's solve it. The fourth thing I think that I'm great at, and I think I do a lot, which some people might think is a little different, but I ask a lot of questions all the time. No matter if it's at work, no matter if it's my wife telling me something, I always ask questions, because that's important. Again, whether you are, just working for someone and you're an employee, you should be asking questions about the tasks that you're working on. Whether you're a leader, well, you should always be thinking of questions, that need to be asked, especially because, like they say, everyone has a boss, so you should be asking questions. Because, again, especially if you don't understand something, that's what, I don't get about people sometimes, especially in my world. I put people to task, they do something, and then at the end of it, they're like, well, I didn't understand that. Well, but why didn't you ask a question? So always ask questions. I think that's a very important thing, that little thing, that people forget. Always ask questions. And again, I think I'm great at doing that. And that's just, one of my things that I think it, makes me who I am and brings me the good, vibration of being positive. Because you can learn a lot when you ask questions. And then, the biggest thing I think for me is, having my wife and kids. I think that's one of the greatest things about me, honestly. My wife coming into my life, she changed it, buckled me down. I learned how to mature at a young age, trying to figure out my life, my career, and, understanding what I want to do. And then my kids, what can I say? My kids just took it to a whole new level. I've been, able to somewhat, be successful again at a young age, and trying to understand what it takes to grow my own business. And, again, without them, without their excitement, without all their questions on a daily basis, again, kids, think about it, kids ask questions all the time. And it's great, because you should have questions about things. But again, without my wife and kids, I would not be where I'm at today. I know that for a fact. And I think they truly make me, great at what I do, and they're the reason, that I'm able to be where I'm at today. And so one of the last things I want to leave this with, because again, this video was about, 5 things that are great about me. But again, since the video kind of is based on the law of vibration, law of attraction, I just want to give you a quick, simple, reality of how that can be. And again, it's experience I had, it's real, and hopefully it can help you. In 2012, my business at the time was doing millions of dollars in revenue, had about 25 employees, and then unfortunately, my mother passed of pancreas cancer that year. We lost all of our follow-on business. My father, who's also a part of my business and one of my partners, kind of shut down, and it was all really his business. So I went from 25 employees to 2, down to nothing. Had to close down the office. Had to get back at square one. And the reason I bring that up is because again, we're talking about the law of vibration. I was down. Obviously our family was down. We were okay, right? And we kept pushing forward. So all 2013, I pushed forward. I kept trying to figure out what do I do next to grow a business? Like, how do I grow a business? I'd never done it before. Everything my father had brought in before. So, I was trying to stay positive as I could. But again, 2013 was one of the roughest years of our life. Not that we had a lot of negativity coming towards us, because my family, again, we've always been positive. But I think, again, in that year, what I lost was my faith in going to church and doing those type of things, where again, that is a positive thing. So 2013 was our hardest year. 2014, it's amazing to see the type of things that happen where, we truly feel like my mom was, reaching out to us and talking to us and trying to bring us back. And slowly but surely, my wife, got us back on the right track and going to church and taking care of those things, getting more positive, and realizing that we truly need to feel blessed for everything we have. Because again, things weren't that bad as they could be for some people, but we just, again, went from, we'll say, not the top, basically the top to the bottom, we'll call it, right? 25 to 0 employees. It's a big thing. And then, as 2014 picked up, well, hey, I helped bring in, a contract with my father, because I finally got him back and going at it. And then 2015, rolls around, we got that contract. And now 2016, I finally got my first contract I ever brought in. This whole time, though, I was positive, right? I was positive, and I know that that's the reason that things kept working out. No matter what, I couldn't give up. I couldn't lose faith in my business. Because, again, you got to understand, as a leader, you need to be very positive about everything, no matter what the situation is. You always got to attract that positiveness. And negativity, it doesn't work, no matter what the situation is. If you go to millions to $0, all right, how am I going to get back to millions? And that's the way I'm on right now, on the way back up to the top. And the last thing I'll leave you with, just so for all of you leaders out there, to understand truly the overnight success thing, isn't true, right? It took me 3 years, okay? 3 years to bring in my first piece of business. Now, again, whatever type of business you're in, okay? Again, for a lot of you, and me too, right? It's the limelight, right? And I'm learning so much about that business and trying to grow my business there. But for this, scenario that I'm giving you is my technology business. It took me 3 years to bring in my first piece of business. That's 1,095 days, people, okay? Understand, I stayed positive the whole time. I knew things would work out, and I just kept going, and I never gave up. Long nights, of trying to figure out what to do, trying to come up with a plan, but never, ever giving up and always staying positive. So, with that, I hope this, again, can inspire you to stay positive. Always ask questions, be grateful for what you have, be a great leader, and be a problem solver. And always understand, whether it's your husband and your kids or your wife and your kids, your family, that's what's going to keep you going. And that's what should push you to say, all right, I'm going to be successful. I'm going to do this. I'm going to show my kids that, mom or dad is going to change their lives forever. And they worked hard at it. So, again, that's my video on Law of Attraction. And I appreciate your guys' time. Again, I hope it inspires you. And talk to you soon. Bye.